In the late 1990s, monster movies were gaining in popularity to a pretty cool level. And with the end of the Lost World Jurassic Park sending a T-Rex off to tear through San Diego, you knew that movies would be made to kind of capitalize on that sort of fun. Of course, remakes of both Mighty Joe Young and Godzilla were already on the way, but there was also one particular film that was hoping to cash in on that craze that I'm sure most of you have never heard of. Going into production as a sort of competitor to Roland Emmerich's Godzilla, this made-for-TV movie had its debut during the premiere of that big budgeted movie. And it became a project one guy in particular has wanted me to cover for like ever.
Did you see that?
Yeah, what was it?
I don't know.
Gargantua is a 1998 science fiction action film directed by Bradford May. It stars Adam Baldwin, who fans of this channel will recognize as one of Peter Key's dudes from Predator 2.
You don't know what you're doing, Harrigan.
Alongside Julie Carmen and Emile Hirsch. The movie opens up in a similar way to Jaws, believe it or not, where a little bonfire causes a couple of girls to walk up on the beach and soon get killed by some sort of mysterious threat underneath the water. It's filmed dark, strange, and mysterious, like I said, even though we don't get a good look at who or what is behind the killings. It's at this point that I was wondering why exactly this film was so highly requested. I mean, like, okay, it's a monster movie, but what are we dealing with here? What are you planning for us all, YouTube user Jazz King with the Mr. Dinkovich profile pic? Anyways, after that, an investigation is launched into what's going on when another dude bites the dust out in the ocean, and a marine biologist who is with his son gets thrown into everything as the small Hawaiian town undergoes a massive dilemma dealing with this monster. We kind of just watch the movie play out like any other film would. I'm still confused here. Our main protagonist from Predator 2 is going through some issues after his wife died. There's some character stuff, and the boy really feels bad about not having a mom. Like, take this scene for example.
Let's get you dried off.
In case you haven't figured it out just yet, this movie is going to be pretty cheesy, and alright guys, I want to make this very clear up front. I don't want to hide my opinions any longer. Look, Gargantua is one of the funniest monster movies I think you could ever watch if you're into this sort of thing. It is definitely a case of so bad, it's outstanding. It's really good. I even think I saw an IMDb review that says that, and I think it was around this time in the movie that I think I finally understood why this was so highly recommended by our good friend here.
Hey, Mr. Dinkovich.
It's an orange.
Early on in the film, the boy goes out to explore by himself, and he's just walking up the Hawaiian beach. He's feeling sad, he doesn't have a mom, and he just so happens to notice this out of the ordinary thing hanging out in the same area. We soon follow the boy who's following the CGI lizard into the jungle. He bumps into the creature that stops walking like a Star Wars Special Edition creature, and he meets up with a practical effect that looks like Yoshi by a waterfall. This is all very Son of Godzilla vibes alongside a 1990s Fern Gully feel as far as the tone is concerned, but at the same time, we get allusions to something more sinister living in the waters, killing people, something spying on people, hanging out at the beach, and during another nighttime celebration, well, just watch what happens. After catching and popping an inflatable beach ball and starting his own attack on the town, we get a good look at this monster, monster number 2. This creature is a 9-foot monster with chameleon-like horns on its head, and it acts kind of like a typical velociraptor or baby Godzilla from the 1998 movie that, you know, obviously this film is competing with. The monster runs around the beach, causes all sort of carnage while you're looking at the bizarre special effects design. My best way to describe the Gargantuas, or whatever you want to call them so far, is that they are amphibious as far as their skin goes. Kind of like the texture of giant green tree frogs, only with dinosaur bodies, and boy do they take center stage.
Look out! Cover your line! It's gonna kill us! Kill it! Kill it! No, wait! Don't kill it!
I almost forgot about our lead character in this movie. The guy from Predator 2 proceeds to lead an expedition into the jungle in order to stop the Velocifrog thing in a scene that looks like they took the ravine chase from the Lost World Jurassic Park and mixed it with the game trail sequence from the same movie. So you end up getting a better look at what kind of film you're watching here. I think the appeal of Gargantua is that it was what the Sci-Fi Channel was before the Sci-Fi Channel was like all over the place and getting wild with CGI. The film has some implementation of ideas from other contemporary monster movies alongside a higher level of filmmaking. And look, it is fun and funny at the same time. It's not quite Mighty Joe Young in style. It's not quite Reptilian in its levels of goober looking CG, but wow, is it a wild blend. And I was having a ball with the cheesiness of it. I was smiling. I was like, okay, this thing exists.
Guys, I've got an interesting tidbit for you. I just checked the internet for facts about the Iwo Jima Ridge.
Of course, they eventually capture this creature, which is deduced as being a male, and the boy doesn't let on that he's befriended the smaller Yoshi one in the jungle. One guy in the town quickly tries to imply it would be a good idea to put this thing in a theme park. Wonder where he got that idea from. But the consensus is just that the military should protect everyone while they study it and find out where it came from. The young boy ends up feeding cheese balls to Yoshi in the jungle, and a deep dive in a sub reveals that a big fault line caused by some, earthquakes has driven salamanders to come up out of the deep ocean, but they are also irradiated by pesticides or something. So the American remake of Godzilla did the same thing with iguanas. Pretty similar origins between the two films. It's a little interesting to say the least. Anyways, we soon get to the actual plot of the movie. That's right, that was all set up for what the film is really all about. It's not a redo of a Jurassic Park or Godzilla plot. It's actually a clever redo of Gorgo, because Big Mama Gargantua is coming to town and she's not too happy her boys have been treated so poorly. This movie is wild. It is outrageously silly at times, but also bizarrely fun in other ways. And I'm not gonna lie, at times it feels like a PG version of Peter Benchley's Creature, which also came out in 1998. We already talked about that on this channel before, but it's also got this Land Before Time, Son of Godzilla kind of feel. The movie is made for TV, so, you can expect what that means. And it comes along with all the cheesiness that you expect it to, but there's also something novel about it. I mean, where else can you see Yoshi, a Velocifrog, Big Mama Green Gorgo, and a bunch of military action going down on Hawaii while a Gary Busey employee from Predator 2 tries to play Hooper from Jaws? Oh, and by the way, things keep getting sillier the longer you watch.
No! Wait!
Look, man, this is the stuff that just makes me smile. This movie implements a lot, and I do mean a lot, of early CGI. But they also utilize some practical effects that remind me of a time that it just doesn't exist anymore. It was filmed primarily in Queensland, Australia, and a lot of the talent has that New Zealand-esque accent. The cast does a fun job, I'm not gonna lie. And apparently Julie Carmen was even nominated for the Alma Award in 1999 for the category of, let's see here, Outstanding Individual Performance in a Made-for-TV Movie in a Crossover Role. Gargantua, score one. There's also a lot of fun talking about this little era, in my opinion, when dinosaurs were still all the craze in the 90s, but they were also trying to make a quick competitor to the big Hollywood Godzilla remake that Roland Emmerich was doing. It's kind of like, remember Twister versus Night of the Twisters? It's kind of like that, but look, if none of that convinces you just yet to see this movie, hey man, maybe this will. I unironically loved watching this film. It's filled with loads of 90s isms, and it scratches that Godzilla itch while also passing itself off as a fun special effects movie that you'd watch old school Chris Stuckman videos be made for his hilariocity videos. I'm surprised someone like, let me think, the very famous Tony from the YouTube channel Hack the Movies hasn't covered this just yet, and I question his authority on the film history for not talking about it, because this is just beyond anything that he could ever wildly imagine. But maybe someday the magic that is 1998's Gargantua will make its way out into the wider film world, and we can all have a fun conversation about it, because this is the kind of thing that, look, you're gonna laugh, man. Go watch this. This is definitely gonna put a smile on most faces anywhere. This movie was distributed by 20th Century Fox. It came out in May 19th, I guess, of 1998 and cost $8 million to make. It all boils down the way you think it would, and while some of the scenes are questionable, to say the least, in terms of quality, I think you get that already from this review. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube right now, but hey, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on Gargantua? Have you seen it, and what do you think of the movie that they made? Personally, I understand completely now why this was so heavily requested, and I think it may be the crown jewel of goober movies from the late 90s.
Thanks, Mr. Dikovich.
Hi, Pete.
But hey man, whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be, I'd love to hear them in the comments down below. Let me tell you something, brother. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I really appreciate it, and if you'd like to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you can be updated when I put out new videos. God bless you all. Christ is King. I hope you all enjoyed your time, and as always, take it easy.